Carl Jung, How Your Dark Side Can Reveal Your Life's Purpose, Jungian philosophy.in. The depths of our psyche. There lies a hidden realm, a place where our deepest fears, our unacknowledged desires, and our repressed emotions reside. This realm, which Carl Jung termed the shadow, is not a place of darkness to be feared, but rather a wellspring of potential waiting to be tapped. Today, we embark on a journey to explore this shadow self and uncover how it can lead us to our life's true purpose. Jung, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, proposed that our psyche is composed of various aspects, including the persona, our public face, the anima animus, our inner feminine masculine, and the shadow. The shadow, perhaps the most misunderstood of these aspects, represents those parts of ourselves that we have rejected, repressed, or simply failed to recognize. But why do we create this shadow in the first place? As we grow and develop, we learn what behaviors and traits are acceptable in our family, our culture, and our society. We shape our persona, our public self, to fit these expectations. In doing so, we inevitably push certain aspects of ourselves into the shadow. These might be traits we consider undesirable, emotions we deem inappropriate, or desires we feel are unacceptable. However, Jung argued that the shadow is not inherently negative. It's simply the unknown side of our personality. It contains not only our darker impulses, but also positive qualities that we fail to develop or acknowledge. The shadow holds our unused potential, our unlived life. So how does this relate to finding our life's purpose? Jung believed that to become whole, to realize our full potential, we must integrate our shadow. This process of integration, which he called individuation, is the key to unlocking our true selves and discovering our life's calling. But here's the paradox: to integrate the shadow, we must first confront it. We must be willing to look unflinchingly at those parts of ourselves that we've long ignored or denied. This is no easy task. Our shadow often manifests in ways that make us uncomfortable in our dreams, our slips of the tongue, our inexplicable reactions to certain people or situations. Think about a time when you've had an outsized emotional reaction to something seemingly minor. Perhaps you felt disproportionately angry at a friend's casual comment or inexplicably envious of a colleague's success. These moments, when our emotions seem to overtake our rational mind, are often shadow material bubbling to the surface. The challenge and the opportunity lies in paying attention to these moments. Instead of pushing them away or rationalizing them, can we sit with them? Can we ask ourselves, what is this reaction telling me about myself? What hidden part of me is seeking expression? This is where the journey to uncovering our life's purpose begins. By exploring our shadow, we start to understand our deepest motivations, our true values, and our authentic desires. We begin to see the patterns in our lives more clearly, to understand why we make the choices we do, and to recognize what truly brings us fulfillment. But I want to emphasize, this is not about indulging every impulse or acting out our shadow material. Rather, it's about acknowledging these aspects of ourselves, understanding their origins, and finding healthy ways to integrate them into our conscious personality. For example, if you find yourself envious of others' success, rather than suppressing this feeling or beating yourself up for having it, you might ask, what does this envy reveal about my own desires? What success am I truly yearning for? How can I channel this energy into positive action toward my own goals? As we engage in this process of shadow work, we often find that our life's purpose begins to reveal itself. We start to understand what truly motivates us, what we're passionate about, what we value most deeply. We may discover talents or interests that we've long neglected, or find the courage to pursue dreams we've previously dismissed as impractical or impossible. So I invite you to begin this journey of shadow exploration. Start by paying attention to your reactions, your emotions, your dreams. When something triggers a strong response in you, pause and ask yourself, what is this telling me about myself? What part of me am I seeing reflected here? Remember, the goal is not to eliminate the shadow that's neither possible nor desirable. The shadow is a vital part of who we are. Our aim is to bring it into consciousness, to integrate it, to harness its energy for our growth and self-realization. As we continue our exploration, we'll delve deeper into specific techniques for shadow work and discuss how this process can lead us to our life's purpose. But for now, I leave you with this question to ponder: what aspects of yourself have you been avoiding or denying? And what might these aspects have to teach you about your true path in life? The Alchemist's Crucible: Transforming Shadow into Golden Purpose. As we delve deeper into the realm of the shadow, we encounter a profound truth: our greatest weaknesses, when acknowledged and integrated, can become our greatest strengths. This alchemical process of transformation is at the heart of Jung's concept of individuation and is key to uncovering our life's purpose. Consider the archetypal story of the hero's journey. The hero must face their greatest fears, confront their inner demons, and overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. In doing so, they not only save the day but also discover their true strength and purpose. This narrative reflects the process of shadow integration that we each must undertake in our own lives. But how do we begin this process of transformation? The first step is developing awareness. We must learn to recognize our shadow when it appears. This requires a level of self-honesty that can be uncomfortable at first. We need to acknowledge our less flattering traits, our secret desires, our hidden resentments. One powerful technique for shadow work is active imagination. This involves engaging in a dialogue with aspects of your unconscious mind. You might start by visualizing a figure that represents your shadow, perhaps a character from a dream or a part of yourself you've always struggled with. Then, engage this figure in conversation. Ask it questions: what do you want? What are you trying to tell me? What do you need? Another approach is to pay attention to your projections. We often project our shadow material onto others, seeing in them the traits we refuse to acknowledge in ourselves. When you find yourself having a strong negative reaction to someone, ask yourself, is there a part of me that's like this person? What quality in them am I rejecting in myself? As we engage in this work, we often discover that our shadow contains not just our flaws, but also our unrealized potential. Perhaps you've always seen yourself as timid, but your shadow reveals a fierce courage you've never allowed yourself to express. Maybe you've prided yourself on being rational, only to discover a rich emotional depth in your shadow. This is where the alchemy begins. As we integrate these shadow aspects, we start to become more whole, more authentic. We tap into parts of ourselves we've long neglected, unlocking new levels of creativity, passion, and purpose. Consider, for instance, someone who has always repressed their anger, seeing it as a negative emotion. Through shadow work, they might come to recognize the positive aspects of anger: its ability to set boundaries, to motivate change, to stand up for justice. By integrating this energy, they might find themselves drawn to advocacy work or discover a passion for social justice they never knew they had. Or think about someone who has always denied their vulnerability, priding themselves on being strong and independent. As they explore their shadow, they might uncover a deep capacity for empathy and connection. This could lead them to a calling in counseling or healing work, where their newfound ability to be vulnerable becomes their greatest strength. The key is to approach this work with curiosity and compassion. Your shadow isn't your enemy, it's a part of you that's been waiting to be acknowledged and integrated. As you bring these aspects into the light, you may find that your sense of purpose becomes clearer, more aligned with your true self. But I want to emphasize this is not a one-time process. Shadow work is ongoing. As we grow and evolve, new aspects of our shadow may come to light. The journey of individuation is lifelong, a continuous unfolding of the self. So I ask you, what parts of yourself have you been keeping in the shadows? What might happen if you allowed these aspects to come into the light? How might your life's purpose shift or clarify as you become more whole, more authentically yourself? Remember, the goal isn't to become perfect, it's to become more fully you, with all your complexities and contradictions. For it's in embracing our full self's shadow and all that we find our truest path, our deepest purpose. As we move forward, we'll explore how this process of shadow integration can lead to profound personal transformation and a clearer sense of life purpose. But for now, I invite you to sit with these questions, to begin the courageous work of looking into your own shadows. For it's there, in the depths of your psyche, that the seeds of your true purpose lie, waiting to be discovered. The crucible of contradiction, embracing paradox to unveil purpose. As we continue our journey into the depths of the psyche, we encounter a profound truth that Jung recognized: our life's purpose often lies at the intersection of seemingly contradictory aspects of ourselves. It's in the tension between opposites that we find our unique path, our individual calling. Jung spoke of the transcendent function, a process by which the psyche reconciles opposing forces to create something new. This isn't about choosing one side over the other, but about holding the tension between opposites until a third, previously unimagined possibility emerges. Consider, for instance, the interplay between our desire for security and our longing for freedom. Many of us feel torn between these two impulses, believing we must choose one or the other. But what if our true purpose lies in finding a way to honor both? Perhaps it's in this very tension that we discover our unique contribution to the world. This principle applies to many aspects of our psyche. We might feel pulled between our logical mind and our intuitive wisdom, between our need for solitude and our desire for connection, between our ambition and our compassion. Rather than seeing these as conflicts to be resolved, we can view them as creative tensions that fuel our growth and point us toward our purpose. To engage with these paradoxes, we must develop what Jung called the tension of opposites. This involves holding space for contradictory aspects of ourselves without rushing to resolve the tension. It's about becoming comfortable with ambiguity, with the both and rather than the either /or. One powerful way to work with this is through active imagination. Visualize two opposing aspects of yourself as distinct characters. Allow them to dialogue with each other. What does each part want? What fears does it have? How might they work together rather than against each other? As we engage in this process, we often find that our purpose emerges not from eliminating one side of ourselves, but from integrating both. A person torn between their artistic passion and their practical need for stability might find their calling in arts education or in developing innovative business models for creative industries. Someone struggling between their desire for personal achievement and their commitment to service might discover a path in social entrepreneurship. The key is to remain open to possibilities beyond our current understanding. Our purpose often lies not in what we already know, but in what's waiting to be discovered through the alchemical process of integration. This work requires courage. It asks us to step into uncertainty, to challenge our existing beliefs about who we are and what we're capable of. But it's in this courageous act of embracing our full paradoxical selves that we often find our deepest sense of purpose and meaning. So I ask you, what contradictions do you feel within yourself? What opposing forces are at play in your psyche? And most importantly, what new possibilities might emerge if you could hold these opposites in creative tension rather than trying to resolve them? Remember, your life's purpose isn't something to be found outside yourself. It's not a pre-existing role you need to discover and fit into. Rather, it's something that emerges from within as you become more fully yourself, embracing all your complexities and contradictions. As we move forward, we'll explore how this process of embracing paradox can lead to profound insights about our life's calling. But for now, I invite you to sit with these questions, to begin the courageous work of holding your own inner tensions. For it's there, in the crucible of contradiction, that the gold of your true purpose is forged. The Phoenix's rebirth, embracing transformation and living your purpose. As we arrive at the final stage of our exploration into Jungian philosophy and life purpose, we confront a profound truth: discovering our life's purpose is not a destination, but a continuous journey of transformation. Like the mythical phoenix rising from its own ashes, we must be willing to let parts of ourselves die so that new aspects can emerge. Jung believed that the process of individuation, of becoming our true selves, is cyclical. We continually face new challenges, uncover new aspects of our shadow, and integrate new paradoxes. Each cycle brings us closer to our authentic self and, by extension, our true purpose. This ongoing transformation can be unsettling. It requires us to repeatedly step out of our comfort zone, to challenge our existing beliefs about ourselves and the world. But it's in this discomfort that growth occurs. As we embrace change, we open ourselves to new possibilities, new ways of being, and new expressions of our purpose. Consider the concept of the hero's journey that Jung often referenced. The hero must leave the familiar world, face trials and tribulations, and return transformed. This isn't a one-time event, but a recurring cycle. Each time we embark on this journey, we shed old layers of ourselves and emerge renewed, with a deeper understanding of our purpose. So how do we embrace this ongoing transformation? First, we must cultivate a willingness to let go. This means releasing old identities, outdated beliefs, and patterns that no longer serve us. It's about recognizing that who we were yesterday may not be who we need to be today. Next, we need to develop a practice of self-reflection. Regular journaling, meditation, or contemplative practices can help us stay attuned to our inner world, allowing us to recognize when we're being called to transform. Pay attention to your dreams, your intuitions, and those moments of synchronicity that Jung saw as signposts on our path. It's also crucial to remain open to the unexpected. Our purpose may manifest in ways we never anticipated. The corporate executive might find their true calling in environmental activism. The scientist might discover a passion for art. By remaining open to possibility, we allow our purpose to evolve and express itself in new ways. Remember, too, that living our purpose isn't always comfortable or easy. It often requires us to confront our deepest fears, to challenge societal norms, or to make difficult choices. But it's in facing these challenges that we grow into our full potential. As we conclude our journey, I want to emphasize that your life's purpose isn't something fixed or predestined. It's a living, breathing thing that grows and changes as you do. Your task is not to find your purpose, but to live it, to express it through your choices, your actions, and your way of being in the world. So I leave you with these questions. What parts of yourself are ready to be transformed? What old patterns or beliefs are you ready to release? And most importantly, how can you open yourself to the ongoing journey of becoming your true self? Remember, every ending is also a beginning. As you close this chapter of exploration, you're also opening a new chapter of lived experience. Your purpose is not something to be discovered once and for all, but something to be lived and expressed anew each day. Embrace the journey of transformation. Allow yourself to be reborn again and again like the phoenix. For it's in this continuous rebirth that you'll find the most authentic expression of your life's purpose. And in living that purpose, you'll not only fulfill your own potential, but also contribute your unique gift to the world.